I drop these videos twice every week to document the journey of where I'm at, the progress I've made on the business side. So that's what these are specifically for, so I can see in years to come where I'm at, where I started, what problems I was going through, how did I solve this, how do I address this. So twice a week I drop these, and then once a week I have a weekly recap that covers the main events of the week, a little bit more tactical, as well as the big lesson and big shift mindset for the week. So that's what I'll be covering. And I just got back from a business trip with my partner. We went down to Nashville, Tennessee, stayed downtown. We toured multiple properties there, multifamily and mixed use properties. That's what we purchase in Tennessee. And this partner that I met, his name is Cam, but we were reflecting over our time together, and it has been 5 years since we met. And we have not worked together on both being sponsors on a deal to this point. So the thing that I want to touch on in this video is the biggest lie that people believe, and they trick themselves all the time. It's 3 words: it doesn't matter. And the reason that I want to talk about this today in light of my trip with Cam is now we're working together, doing these fun projects, doing these exciting projects. But we would not be working together if he wouldn't have been taking all the action that he was taking. Then also for myself, I wouldn't have met him or been a partner with him if I wasn't taking all the action. So let me give you a little backstory on why I'm saying this. So I originally met him when I was 20 years old. I'm 25 now, so that was 5 years ago. I went to a mastermind in Florida, and that year I was traveling. I was taking many trips. I probably spent 25% of my net worth traveling and going to events that year. And I ended up spending probably 50% of my net worth after I had spent that, what I had left over, to join a mastermind group because I wanted to do commercial real estate. I wanted to do multifamily, but I didn't have the experience, so I needed to get around people that were doing it. And there was a lot of steps that I took. I was reading books. I'm traveling to these events. I actually stayed in a hostel for one of the events with 4 random people. They were actually construction workers. They were super chill. But I was doing whatever it took to get around the people that were doing what I wanted to do. And then for Cam, he was actually in a completely different industry. He loved real estate, but he had another business that he was running, CEO, founder, and he was super busy with that. But he still made the time to come to this event. He joined the mastermind of the commercial real estate group so he could get insight to what the deals looked like, how are they structured, who are the people doing the deals. So both of us are taking this consistent action over time. And of course, when I met him initially, I didn't think we were going to be doing deals together necessarily. I thought he was a great guy. We lined up on principles. We're both Christian men, both very passionate about family. But I didn't think we were necessarily going to be doing deals together. And 5 years down the road, we are. So all that to be said, every single action you take matters. It's going to impact who you are tomorrow, what your experience of life is tomorrow. Inevitably, things will happen that you can't control, but for the most part, the actions that you are taking are going to impact you tomorrow. And the concept of motivation is it's always impacting you. Whether it's pushing you this way up, all the actions you're taking are setting you up well for tomorrow. You're not procrastinating, you're taking action. As soon as something comes up, you're doing what you can to solve it immediately. Or if you're procrastinating, I'll do it tomorrow, I don't feel like it. That's some of the worst things that you can do, because now tomorrow you have all the new problems of tomorrow plus all the stuff you procrastinated. So you're never able to get ahead because you're always setting yourself up to be overwhelmed. You're never ahead, and now you're scrambling for your next meeting because you procrastinated planning yesterday. So all these little things add up. That's at a very granular level. But going back to the larger scale, are you taking strategic actions to move you in the direction of the goal that you want? You don't always have the whole big picture, but can you tangibly take 1 or 2 steps? And I call it MINS, and I believe this was coined by someone else, but most important next step. So yeah, you don't have the 10-year plan necessarily step by step. However, if you have multiple steps lined up, okay, what are the next 2 things I can do? Okay, I need to do this thing, so I'm going to call these 3 people. And I need to figure out this strategy, so I'm going to go do that. And then after you figure out those 2, you just repeat the same thing. If you haven't read Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet-David, it's an amazing framework that breaks it down at a great level. I'm going through that with my mastermind guys, so I would highly recommend that. So all this to be said, I'll end it here. The actions you take today are going to compound. Your time is your most valuable asset. You can never get it back. You can't get a refund. So be very, very intentional on how you spend it today because it will impact you tomorrow.